works. I was taking a test run like right before. I think I got it to work. Hopefully it does. That way you'll have some reference, Brian, while you're out. And I think also Asia will not be making it today. So hopefully she'll also be able to use the stream. Um, but yeah, and I know Shirley should be joining soon, but I'm good to just go ahead and start with where we are right now. And that will be our recap for last session. You all had been trekking through the swamps of the Mere of Dead Men, the kind of swamplands to the southwest of Phandelver, besides the high road. You had stopped by. Oh, why am I forgetting the town's name? Leyland, that's what it was. You'd stop by the town of Leyland, looking to grab some more supplies, meet up with the rest of this company, which was the massive kind of expedition put together by the Order of Many-Starred Cloak, the mage order that Kairos was a part of. So you'd met some of the other folks, kind of gotten some direction, and discovered this was being led not only by Lady Melinda Asterion, Kairos' mother, but also by one of the council members of the order as well. So some big shots kind of walking around and kind of movers and shakers pushing this expedition. You've been traveling through, helping conduct some of the arcane rituals with some of the artifacts that they put together and kind of magical devices in order to triangulate and get a better sense of where the ruins might be, partially using on their end some recovered items from other ruins, and on your end using magic from the natural ley lines here. Successfully doing so, you continue traveling through, avoiding an ambush against a dangerous denizen of the swamps, a local hydra, and we're actually able to take care of it quite quickly without getting too caught up in the quicksand or environmental danger. And everything was looking pretty good, as the expedition did have to take a break. The connection they'd been using to the natural ley lines and sort of history of some of the ruined items began to fade, coming across some sort of natural abjuration. And I think to some of the party members like Strike and Kairos, this was reminiscent of what happened with Wave Echo Cave, where certain things were kind of blocked off due to some sort of like protections or abjurations. You scouts had been sent, but you'd all been given a chance to rest and prepare, only for a brief period of calm to be interrupted. The sounds of marching claws and feet through the swamp waters and mud, the sounds of weapons of bone, of metal, kind of fashioned together from both slain creatures and slain mercenaries, as an army of the swamp made of bullywogs and other amphibious creatures and reptilian creatures began to rise up. They were not alone. The creature commanding them, leading them into battle, arrived as well. Massive, almost like rotted wings and pure black scales and almost a skull's head and set of horns rising from the front. A massive black dragon, the Black Death of the swamp, had arrived, leading an attack against the encampment. Very quickly, the forces of the order began to rally, the mages heading off to hold back the dragon and the army, and you all had run south, trying to find any of the ruins or remnants or entrances that could lead you to the fallen city of Yithrin. The goal remaining at the top of your minds: to find the city, to retrieve the artifact, and to escape, while the mages of the order hold back the dragon and buy you guys some time. You were successful in finding what appeared to be some sort of remnant, activating the sigils, conducting the magic, and just as you were ready to escape, an arrival. The Black Dragon had come here as well. Somehow, getting past the blockade of mages and other individuals, you saw death approaching, and you all were able to escape, just barely. Diving through a portal, feeling the tumbling of your stomachs as a roiling, almost wave of acid spread out behind you, you traveled through some sort of teleportation, unclear if it was extraplanar or just a movement across the face of the material plane, and arrived, tumbling forward into metal and stone. A brief breeze passing by, and a chill as you looked up and over the edge of the building you stood on top of, looking down and seeing a massive descent into a city abandoned. Hell yeah. That is the recap we have for now. Any questions before we dive into the fallen city of Yithrin?
No, I think I'm good.
Mm-mm.
Hell yeah. Okay. You all awaken, and I'll move this over here.
What the hell?
As you awaken to stone and metal equipment, items, some structure all around, and through the kind of faded fog of the skies up here, you look down and you see remnants of a city beyond. And the question I have for you all is, what do you want to do? Some music in the background. I have to realize I picture over, but yeah.
So it's just all of us are here, right? No one like
Uh,
additional has come.
so far, yeah, you can only see it would be the what is it, the five of you and Lysandra.
Mm.
Gotcha.
How
Okay.
much of this map can we see?
Of like the map we're on right now. I mean, you guys are just like you can kind of see all this structure and stuff. You can see there's some rooms with some faded lights. They're a little bit more ruined than maybe some of these pictures, but the idea is like, yeah, it's very like defunct, for the most part, dark and abandoned looking structure, and you know you're somewhere higher up. That part is clear.
Yeah, I think I'll do like a head count to see everyone's here, and then yeah, I think I'm just gonna look around to see if there's any like I don't know visible markers of like of which of where we are. Like, do you know if we have some sort of map or anything of the city or
You
any
guys,
like
no map right now. You just have the direction ahead of you. Um, but yeah, if you want to make kind of perception checks over the edge, try and see where things are, you certainly can.
Sure. Um,
Okay.
Damn.
Pyro's 20. Anyone else wanna go for it as well?
Somehow rocking a 14.
Oh, yeah, Kairos. Be sure to roll an extra d4 if you're doing a perception check.
Could I do a history check to try to see, based on at least the very basic stuff that Strike has read, potentially identifying certain shapes or buildings?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's do that. Can't see, did that go through?
yeah, 26. Damn.
Okay, 26 history, 15 and a 21. I think for Nixia, there's a little bit of just the slight surprise and kind of taking in where you are, and I think a sense of uh, there's something almost that feels foreign about some of the items around you, the contraptions around you, the style of make. This is something where you're like, I'm not very familiar with anything in the Swords Coast that's quite aligned with this. You can see pieces that are similar, but as you look down and take in the surroundings and you think about the details you were given before you got here, um, you wonder how much of the familiarity you see is more so the inspirations from this city, this style, that have carried on into the modern era. So with the 14, you're just taking in those details. Kairos, with a 21, what I will say is there anything, like, just any specific details you're leaning towards as you're searching?
Well, I think I remember back to like the I guess it was like a nightmare realm or something. We were trapped in like this vision of like a train, I think. Like above table was a train. Is there anything that can like take us down, like some sort of like advanced transportation?
You're looking for transportation around you.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. As you take a look, you will see there is something that does appear to have some sort of arcane technological components. And it's over kind of a little bit further back from the edge.
Gotcha.
And it's something that how do I point out? So it's not quite in this immediate, but you kind of see it would be closer to here, right? There's a station that you can make out. A couple of these look completely dark, but there's a few areas with like sputterings of like light and arcane symbols. So maybe something you can interact with. That's kind of like where you're like, this could be similar to what you remember in the vision. And actually, on a 21, okay, yeah, you see that. Strike on a 26. What's your kind of angle with the history check? You said like structures that would feel familiar. From what perspective?
Well, so he did some research into, I guess, the Nethra empires, and then also he was there in Wave Cave. So I suppose any of those details, if anything, kind of similar to what he sees, I think that would be one angle. And the other angle, I guess, is since he was somehow introduced to some of the power systems that the Nethra Empire used, maybe identifying something related to the power, obviously with the essences and all that. He learned at least some amount of how they were, pulling essences out of these summoned demons to use as a lighting source, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe along those lines.
Got it. It's kind of based off those previous references. Interesting. Okay. So I think what you would notice then. Okay. Two things stand out to you then, Strike, from that angle. And interestingly enough, they'd be on opposite ends of what you can kind of see. As you stretch a little bit out along the kind of walkway, you look out to the northwest, and you see a bit of light emanating from the city. But it's not the bright kind of white lights of an arcane magic or a light created in that way. You see a red and orange hue from a river of magma, I guess lava, because you guys can see it above, but it's like magma flowing in a sort of circle, and amidst it you see various ruined structures, but there's one that appears to be a little bit more stable. Like, you don't see these massive cracks or like clear signs of like complete darkness or lack of light. It's like some of this orange red hue of magma lights up what still seems to be some sort of like set of buildings that are standing and a large anvil, and you can just kind of make out the structure from this distance.
Okay.
And on the very opposite end, because you rolled 26, you see a crumbling tower that's kind of like partway collapsed, but still has a few sparks of like light from some sort of still active magic. and it has a set of almost like spheres, like different spheres that are joining into the building to kind of form it, and an extension that comes out of it with these various runes, and almost like a slight spatial distortion. But it's some sort of high level magic where you're like, okay, that's not, it's damaged, but it hasn't completely collapsed, so something's still there.
Could you, if it's relevant, could you ping where it is on the map?
Yeah.
Or is this just a visual?
This is like just the visual of your immediate vicinity, but you can think of it as so like one this way, and then one this way, kind of on opposite ends. And if it would be helpful, let me actually go ahead and make a general page for you guys to mark down as I describe stuff too.
So, Strike is definitely buzzing with excitement. You know, being in another Nethril city, or ruins of one, and so he's kind of, kind of hopping on the balls of his toes, a lot more energy than maybe he previously saw from him over the last couple days. Definitely much more feeling like himself now that he's kind of in his maybe not element, but his his subject matter of interest. So he'll call out and kind of convey to the team, to the group. But I see something over there. It looks like there's an anvil, and maybe it's a heat source, magma of some sort. Well, something looks to be still intact over there. Well, I see something else over here that it's definitely some residual magic. It might be worth taking a look at one of these two on the way down. By the way, anyone have any ideas on how to get off of this tower?
And no, that wouldn't work. Thinking about it.
I'm also gonna just draw some points of interest for you guys so you get a better sense of direction. Like approximations. Okay. Range.
But yeah, I was gonna say, Kairos is a bit stunned at the moment. Specifically because like he saw that black dragon kind of rampage through the Order's like army. And he's not sure about his uncle and mom. But I think he kind of snaps back and says, yeah, I think we can fall down. I can cast magic, but I don't know. Like, what about there? And I point to like the whatever apparatus you mentioned, Pranav, like that I think might be like some sort of like entryway or something for transportation.
Okay.
And I'll point at Strike because he's probably the most like knowledgeable about it.
Okay. You point that out. Hell yeah. As you're pointing that out, think of your passive perceptions, Nixia and V. Well, I guess V you're seeing through Kairos' eyes, so Nixia, you would see movement, because the others are kind of focused down low, like angling down to these different, like, sort of landmarks. You notice movement amidst the kind of dark clouds. Just like shadows in the clouds moving quickly.
Interesting. Can I make a perception check to dig a little deeper? Does it seem like a storm, or does it... Okay.
Yeah, you can make a perception check. Go for it.
Storm or animal?
And then while you're looking there, I'll also add for the folks who are more in the immediate vicinity, because Kairos, you call out to Strike, kind of walking through, you notice that above, you don't really have a whole lot of ceiling. You can kind of see bits of where stained glass has broken and remnants all around, but for the most part, it's pretty shattered. And
But so above the shattered glass, though, is just stone, or is it just empty space?
So that's going to be the other point. Above, you look up another like seems like 80 feet above you is just subterranean ceiling, like stone and earth. That's what you can make out. And around you, there's other signs of like as you kind of step away from the edge, you notice there's just a bunch of rubble and damage all around you, like pieces of the like what might have been spires that have collapsed, rooms that have been destroyed, statues that have fallen, things of that nature. And as the rest of you are picking up on these details, Nixia, with a 23, you take a little closer look. And the movement. It's not the storm, it's not winds, it's not lightning, but there are multiple of them. Shadows. And the familiar sight of wings extending from the back. You see various winged figures you assume to be the size of like people amidst the clouds. They are not moving in your direction. Whatever these things are, they haven't noticed you yet.
Oh, beans. Nixia's gonna try to catch up with striking Kairos and be like,
hello, I just wanted to say that we're not alone.
and she's gonna point up.
There's people up, or humanoids at least. Does
what?
anyone know anything of something similar to Pass Without a Trace, or some kind of stealth spell?
Do I have anything?
Hey, you tell me.
I don't, but I have Fog Cloud. I do have something it can temporarily conceal us, but I don't have anything like that. Where do you see these things? And I'll try to look to the direction where Nixia's seen them.
Mhm.
And can I get a better visual with the eagle eyes I have?
Yep. With your eagle eyes, I believe they give you a mile's worth of distance, so this shouldn't be too hard. You immediately make out the figures that Nixia is pointing to. You see figures with wings coming out their back, like humanoid shape with like arms and legs. Dark gray, even like kind of when they flutter out of the cloud line and you catch like a glimpse of them. They look like gray stone-like figures. If any of you would like to attempt to recognize them, you can give me Arcana or History checks. And
Sure.
as of distance, they're like, 200-300 feet away.
Nice.
Yes.
Come on, history.
Ah!
What happened?
It's just fine.
Oh no.
So yeah, you're kind of just like, never seen this before. But Kairos and Strike are locked in, thinking about something about this city full of magic, and you do recognize these creatures because they are somewhat commonly used by practitioners of magic or institutions for protection. It's a rare kind of scalar art form in the modern day, but these are gargoyles. And you assume they're set to be guardians. And as they patrol the air, there's a concern here with your high checks of if you're not allowed people or individuals to be up here, you wonder what they're going to do if they find you.
Oh,
I immediately look to Strike and I say, "You is that what I think it is? Do you think we'll be alright? I mean, are we technically citizens? I don't remember. It's like And
Well,
yeah,
I think you're right. We got some level of clearance. You more than me. I think I might have one level lower, but our friend Nixie over here definitely doesn't have any. So we should be cautious. Maybe let's get off the rooftop.
definitely, yeah, I agree. How do we do that?
Wait, did you? At one point you had feather fall. You still have that prepared or no?
Oh, yes. I always have it prepared.
Understood.
And Nixie is gonna run off and jump. Heard what I needed to hear.
Oh no.
What are y'all doing? Nixia's already jumping
Just
off
don't
the
let
edge.
the spell. Let her fall.
I like eyes wide open, looking at like Strike. I'm like, and I immediately follow her.
Okay.
I'll dive off with Levi as well.
Okay.
I'll have my owl kind of like dive too, but like, kind of go near Nixia to make sure nothing bad happens.
Okay.
Because we have to be in like a general vicinity of them casting Featherfall, right?
Yeah. Let me check. I think it's within 60 feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
of me. So I think
Okay, all right.
should be enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you all take off, seeing Nixia already kind of running towards the edge. Momentary pause and then turning. So you're not too far behind. As Nixia, you leap over the edge, you turn, and you can kind of see the rest of your crew jumping off as well. Lysandra probably just sighing for like a half second before she leaps over as well.
Oh yeah.
Let's all jump off the roof.
Karis, you go ahead and cast Featherfall.
Yes. How many are there? Is it like?
It's a great question. I believe you guys have Nixia. I'm gonna say for this scenario, V is like with you, Kairos, so like you can be treated as like one person. So it's like V and Kairos, Strike, Levi, Ame, and Lysandra. So 6.
Oh. Wait.
How many can you do?
5.
Is it you and 5 other creatures, or you and 4 other creatures?
Which you take when you or a creature within 60 feet falls, up to 5 falling creatures within range.
Oh, it doesn't say
Choose
you
up to
and
5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature rate ascent.
Well, so we have a couple options. Is there an upcast option?
Yeah, can I upcast it? Is it 6?
There's technically no upcast option, but I will say why not. I think it's kind of crazy it doesn't have an upcast option. So yeah.
Thank God.
You're like in midair doing the math because you don't. It's not like a 1 second fall because you look down and you realize you're several hundred feet in the air. As you for a moment start speeding up, you kind of do the math, realize you need to cast more, and you're gonna go ahead and use a 2nd level spell slot on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were able to catch. It's like that last string out, and everyone begins to slow. You're still moving decently fast, but slowing down where it might take a half minute to reach the bottom.
I look up. Do the gargoyles notice us at all, or no?
So about halfway down the tower, and this is clearly the tallest structure in the city, you realize that the cloud banks sort of become thicker, and as you pass through them, a little moisture on your kind of robes and attire, there's no clear line of sight for the gargoyles up top to see you anymore.
Alright, nice.
As we fall, since it takes you said half a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll as we fall, I'll call out to Nixia. God damn it, Nixia! If you're gonna be with us, we gotta work as a team, all right? And I'll kind of like, I was already pretty close to Kairos, and as we're falling, I'll try to get close to him and kind of hand off the cylinder to him. Well, I'll wait until we get to the bottom. Okay. There's no reason to be too brash.
So not
Nixia
quite.
falling backwards, cuts her fingers, and just says,
If you spend too much time on speculation, that's more time that we can be spotted. I am working as a team. And she'll smile and give a thumbs up.
I think Kairos will say, huh, I feel like that's what my mother would say. So maybe she's right here. And I'm panting, because I think I'm like, it's out of worry.
We're fine.
You all do descend. Eventually, reach the ground. Doesn't take too long, but with Featherfall, you get a calmer kind of descent. And you kind of look back up and you realize there are some of these like almost paths down. Karos, this was reminiscent to what you were trying to look for before, and you were about to point out to Strike, were these sort of lines that seem to tie to some sort of device or platform. And there's like a few. But in different stages. Some look defunct, some look like they're like stuck in midair. But this was your direct route down, and as each of you land, your feet kind of touching the stone floor of the city proper. There is 0 damage taken, no risks, and you are able to look around. You see a large kind of open area at the base of the tower. You can see various buildings left in ruin all around it. A little unclear in the immediate details what these buildings were for, but you can see a variety of them are just left in shambles, broken, kind of arcane crystals and the like all throughout. Very minimal light as you try and navigate through the immediate vicinity. But yeah, that's kind of like these just very surface level details you're picking up as you touch base at the bottom of the tower.
All right. Once we land, Strike will walk over to Kairos and just say, thank you for saving my butt and Levi's butt here. And he pulls out the cylinder. Just let me give this to you, just to replenish some of that energy you just used. And Strike will show Kairos how to use it. Putting your finger here and push this button, this type of thing. And Kairos, are you interested in using this?
I mean, how much juice does it have left? I mean, I think I got.
Well, we gained a little bit after that ley line excursion, so we got some to use.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll just. And I think I'll put my fingers on it. I mean, how much does it take to draw like a level 2 spell from it?
It's freely given, so he'll just all of a sudden you'll get this this warm surge of energy, and to the point where like maybe your fingers start hurting a little bit. It's not quite tuned in, but yeah, you'll replenish a second level spell.
Oh, that's sick. I think I'll just take a look at it, like seeing the potential, and say, is it possible for me to use this to upcast magic as well?
Oh, most certainly, yeah. It's you certainly can. There's a little bit of risk involved, though. Especially if it's above the spell slots that you have. You certainly can cast a fourth level spell with this by upcasting, but there's definitely some risk. This is just a prototype after all, so overuse might make it a bit more unstable, if you know what I mean.
No, right, of course, yes. I'll handle it with care.
But by all means, in the heat of the moment, if we're in danger, feel free to come by and grab it off my person if you need it. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, I certainly will. Now that like Kairos is feeling a little more like he's a little stronger because he got that level 2 back. He's gonna send Archie like out, kind of like survey the area to make sure that nothing is like crawling about and such. And he's gonna look to Strike and say, thank you for that. I think maybe we should move on then. how do you think we should go about this shoot? You think we should stealth? It doesn't look like anyone's here.
Well, personally, I have a way of disguising myself a bit. It's only for myself, though. I don't know if I can do it for anybody else. Uh, what about you, Nixie? Do you have a way of staying hidden, just in case we want to avoid some predators?
Unfortunately, if I did have that, you wouldn't have seen me when we met. All that is to say, no.
Well, I do have this rather flunkly companion here. I'm not sure how stealthy it will be, but maybe we try and see how it goes.
Right, of course. Who's is Mr. Barker or Levi does he have disadvantage on stealth?
No, he doesn't have disadvantage. He's just not very stealthy.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll reduce his density to give him advantage, and then I'll go ahead and stealth, trying to because given that what the dangers we saw in last city, Kairos would be like kind of, you know, trying to make sure nothing is gonna pop out and scare him.
Hmm.
And with this-
Just to clarify, we're heading to the center of the city, right, to get the thing we need?
So, one note. You guys are... Oh, let me... I put us on the scene page, but let me put you back on, like, this sort of map you have so far. Is you were on some sort of tower, right? With, like, what looked like docks. Was the best way to describe it. Strike saw an unusual forge and some sort of weird tower with some spatial stuff going on opposite ends of the city. It's like rough approximations, but you're kind of already in the center, from what you can tell. This, like, the tower you're on was the tallest and it's kind of center to the city. You're looking for the artifact, right? That Lady Astarion mentioned. But you have no idea actually where it is, right? The goal was to get to the ruins of the city, start excavating, exploring. Unfortunately, the timetable has turned up due to the dragon's intervention. And right now, you're in the city. You got to do all that excavating and discovery yourselves.
Seeing through Archie's eyes, how far apart is the forge from the tower, and the tower from the other spatial tower?
I mean, yeah, they're roughly equidistant from the tower you're at right now. It's like, you'd say like couple, like maybe 10 minutes to cross if you're like trying to move at a good pace. If you're a little stealthy, kind of checking every corner, it'll take a little longer. Maybe like 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
if you could remind me, the anti-divination stuff, that was pretty much affecting stuff outside the city, right?
Yeah, what you guys could tell was trying to, like, the ritual used gave a approximate location, but once you reach a certain radius, it just kind of went null. Um, you're not sure if divination will work now, but you can try. You know, it's working
Yeah.
from the outside, yeah.
I guess now that we're actually in the city, V will go ahead and cast divination and a mix of augury to point us in the right direction towards the artifact and see if that pans out.
Okay. So you're gonna use this divination spell, and the question you have is um, to find the artifact, right?
Essentially, pretty much, I suppose it's kind of worded kind of like show us the path to it or where, what have you.
Okay. With the divination spell. Checking it. Okay, there it is. For a moment, V, the air grows silent. Your friends all around you, your compatriots, their movements begin to slow, and everything grows quiet. Paused for the moment. And as you reach out through your senses to the realm beyond life, for a moment, you swear you see a set of eyes looking back at you. And a voice from the darkness, a voice that emanates from the figure that holds those eyes, speaks to you. The object you seek lies beneath your feet. And
We're already on the floor, right?
you're
Like we're
in the
we're
base
on
of the
actual ground.
Yeah.
I assume that little vision then ends?
Yeah, it's just for a second. You get a pair of eyes and a description that it's beneath your feet.
Right. Yeah, I guess V will telepathically tell Kairos we need to go deeper. It's below us. But there's something wrong with this place. Something's watching.
But are you sure? I mean, how do you know?
I saw it.
That's concerning. Okay,
We should try not to stay here longer than we have to.
right. No, right. I look to the party and I say, I mean, do we head to the forge? Do we head down to the tower? I feel like the tower might have something, but forge does sound promising.
Yeah, I think you might be right about the tower. Um, and I know its importance because that's essentially why we're here. But I can't help but remind myself that we have some friends back home that require repair to our forge. Um, would it? Hmm, I mean, we haven't seen too much aside from the gargoyles. Would it be too dangerous to split up? I know we did that last time, and we went to the Underdark, and while we did survive, it could have been better. I don't know. Seems like a similar scenario, to be honest. Do we risk splitting up?
Perhaps
I,
we all go to the forge first. If anything, it could help embolden us for whatever we need to do at the tower. Get new materials, new things.
that's a good point. Perhaps we could arm ourselves better. What do you think? And I look towards Lysandra to see what her input is.
Splitting up would allow us to cover more ground faster, but this is an unknown environment. Be risky. I too can't help but feel, based off the warning your companion gave, that we are not sure what else is here. I don't mean others from our expedition finding their way here. That is acceptable competition. What I mean is if any defenses, like the gargoyles, still remain active in this city. That is my concern.
Then I guess perhaps we stick together. Then shall we head to the forge now?
Ideally.
I suppose. Yeah, I think we could head out.
And also, sorry, go ahead.
Mhm. Well, I was just gonna cast something on myself.
I'll also add, if you guys want to make any sort of immediate checks, right? Because the two landmarks you saw were based off like that high point, so and it was based off strikes, just check in the moment. But if there's any more immediate investigations, like immediate surroundings you want to investigate, you can totally do that. Just want to add that detail that the reference point you have was from one kind of perspective and one check. If there's things you guys want to do as your characters, for more information, you can certainly try.
Yeah, I mean, is there any activity from either locations? I mean, like, are there lights on? Is something moving? Like a structure is moving? Stuff like that?
Like in other parts of the city.
Yeah.
Go ahead. If you all want to do another round of perception checks, you can certainly go for that from down here. See if there's anything else that still seems to be functionable.
We eat the.
So, okay. 24. Oh yeah. You guys are looking for stuff that is functionable. Huge amounts of damage from what you can tell, even when you occasionally like climb up onto like a rooftop nearby, staying low, staying quiet, but you just see immense amounts of damage. But with your perceptions turned outward, the thing I'll call out is Kairos. V. You notice a detail that is less about pure lighting in that, arcane sense, and more an odd detail. You see, towards one corner of the city, greenery. What appears to be a forest rising from the stonework of the city, but it does not look like wild, overgrown, per se. It doesn't seem like outside growing into the city. It seems like a garden or area of the city that has slightly expanded but remains alive. You can see green trees, strong, tall, kind of trunks. At odds with the rest of this kind of ruined city, the trees and the vegetation on that side look actually very kind of alive. Tall, strong, much more than like ordinary forest trees. Like these are almost enhanced in some sort of way.
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of mentally nudge Kairos to where V sees that.
Kind of looking over there, I say, okay, well, it seems to be more north. Perhaps we go to the forge first, then the garden, then come down?
Sorry, one more thing, because that was V's perception check, but Kairos and
no.
Nixia, you two see stuff too.
Oh no.
Nixia is the thing. Oh, Nixia, you'd actually see not too far away, but amidst some of these kind of ruined buildings, some of these like what appear to have once been larger than what you would like. They looked a little bigger than residential, but nonetheless they've kind of collapsed. There is one building that still appears to kind of have some lights on, occasionally flickering, but still running. Kind of spread throughout some of these ruins. Not a whole lot of clear, details about it, because from the outside it just looks like a kind of large rectangular building, some sort of maybe pillars, an ornate roof atop it, but it's got lights on. That's kind of the note that stands out to you.
Sweet.
It's not as far away.
And you really want to split up, huh?
No. Why would I want that, guys? Come on. That'd be crazy.
He's forcing us to make decisions. That's it.
There's that. And then Kairos, the building that you would notice with some lights on. Would be okay. There it is. You actually notice there is a tower in one of the far corners, and because of your eagle eyes, that's the one you kind of catch because you would have missed it for a sec. But you occasionally see it's not lights, but it's almost like arcane runes, like routes across its surface that don't appear to be fully damaged or defunct like some of the other places. It's like weak, but it's still active from what you can tell. Where are we? Oh, nope. Right. Unknown tower. There you go.
I can't just say unknown. Now I want to know. God damn it. Okay.
You guys got great
Do not
perception checks.
fall to the temptation of the DM.
Oh no. I think, you know what? I think given like Harris's like family background, he's gonna want to like investigate as much as he can. So he'll look to the party and he'll say, well, you know, we are here. Possibly the first ones to be here in a long time. I know the artifact is a priority, and I agree, but I think we should at least take some time to explore, investigate around.
I'd actually argue that we're not the most recent people here.
And she's going to point in the direction in which she saw lights.
It seems like, well, there were inhabitants for longer than we think. Or somebody else found their way here first.
Oh. That's kind of a scary thought. Do you want to explore that part? And is the unknown building that you were mentioning?
Well, personally, I have no preference as to what we do first. But it might be worth checking out. It seems like you're interested.
Yes, I actually sort of am. Let's do this. Let's go, and then I think I'm drawing on the ground of like the locations, and what I'm drawing is the pathway from the the center tower to the unknown building, then going back up to the odd garden, then left to the strange forge, then down to the unknown tower, and finally right to the spatial tower.
Also, I'll say, Shrini, if you want to draw on the map, you totally can.
Oh,
if that's helpful.
Oh my god, you're right.
That is a feature. And I'll say, as you're kind of drawing, because I think Lysandra has seen Strike. She knows you can speak Elven. Lysandra will kind of pass over what looks to be one of these arcane crystals. You've seen a bunch broken on the ground. These are not like some of the ones you've seen in current day. More like just carved gemstone with like some runes on it. Like these have like pieces of metallurgy fashioned around them. Those also inscribed with very like a very fine style that is surprising in its efficiency for like magical potency. But you see she grabs one that does not look to be completely broken, and kind of passes it over to you, Strike, and kind of nods to the others. Not sure how many of you can sort of read languages this old. It seems like what I could find in this one suggested that the city was in a state of emergency in the mere moments before its fall. Explains some of the damage we're seeing, but well, I still have questions about how it ended up here. Like I said before, signs had pointed to it traveling eastward. I suppose something went wrong with its escape attempt. It ended up here.
This is an Elvish, you said, or like
Yeah,
some.
I mean, you guys
older
can all
language?
take a look.
Okay.
You see, it is specifically a Netheril language, so like Netherese as its own language, because they some inspirations from other older languages at the time with their own kind of commingling. Uh, so if you know Draconic or Elvish, you can make an intelligence check. Otherwise, you would need like comprehend languages to read Netherese.
Yeah,
And I
there's no
do
way
know
in hell.
Elvish. Just a raw intelligence.
Yeah, we can call this. Yeah, let's call this raw intelligence.
Alright, here we go. Damn it! Oh my
You stupid.
god.
I just can't read. But yeah, she points out. I mean, she can cast comprehend languages. So Lysandra will kind of look down at the crystal, see you kind of staring at it, and then just kind of take it back for a second. The state of emergency was called by the heavenly archmage of the city. I suppose it's their leader. I just have a name, but not much. Not sure how important that is. Hurrah. Osab. Should that name come up, it'll mean we found something of importance. And she'll kind of like draw out the characters so that even those of you who do not read the language can like try and find the characters should they come up.
Mhm.
But yeah, just kind of pinpoints. And you guys at this point have seen skeletons as well, like dead, long, sort of rotted away, crumbling down skeletons of the people that died here in the city.
God damn it. Also, I think Brian dropped.
Mhm.
Um,
It's because he's at the conference, so I think he was going to drop at some point. Yeah.
ooh.
1 sec, I'm just pinging that spell to read the description.
No worries. Yeah, you guys kind of have at least this initial plan laid out. You can attempt to use this for now, or yeah, up to you guys where you want to go.
Question for the skeletons. Would speak with dead work with them?
You might be able to try and find. I'll say it's an investigation check to try and find a intact skull to speak to, because these have gone through so much damage, so much time. But there might be a few that have kind of made it through.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell Kairos. If we have a moment, if you could find an intact body, I could fish for some more information, especially regarding these notable places you're wanting to go.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, Nixia did point out that there might be people or something still alive here. Who knows? Over there, maybe. Who knows? Maybe they're gone, but there could be a body left behind. Yeah, I think let's head on over to that building.
Even an older one. Just have the group keep an eye out for an intact corpse.
Understood. And I'll telepathically let my owl know, Archie, to hoot at me if any bodies are there.
And you all mentioned you're traveling stealthily to this other location, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me
You
a
said-
group stealth check.
Okay, you said there were things roaming about.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Group stealth check.
What could be out there?
Okay, here's my owl.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Archie, what you got?
Godspeed, soldiers.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Okay, that's
Okay,
Archie.
6, nice.
Uh,
Can we go lower?
You're about to find out. Oh, never mind.
Nice.
Oh, and V's technically in my body, right?
Mm-hmm. I'll say V can still roll
Okay.
a stealth check in terms of helping the group, right? If V's able to like kind of help just keep an eye out to move you all in, quiet your footsteps with some ghostly shenanigans. The mischief turned to now helping the group.
Ghostly shenanigans, I like it.
But yeah. V, if you can also roll a stealth check if you want to help.
Yeah, 1 second.
No worries.
You think you can ritual cast and walk too? Is that possible? Or do you need to sit down ritual cast?
For which one?
For summoning my horse?
You mean like if you wanted a ritual caster right now?
Yeah, if I, can I walk in ritual cast or do you need to like sit down?
Sit down, yeah.
I figured, yeah.
Gotta be locked in.
Do it.
You don't get that
I
horse
guess I
for
can
free.
Stealth you wanted. All right, let's see. Stealth for general assistance then.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Sure.
Yeah, I had to roll 20 because it shit itself.
No worries.
Oh my.
It gave it back in the green. Okay, so
Hell yeah.
I think so. Right, Kairos, Archie's up in the air, a little bit more visible, but it's like Archie and Nixia both see something at the same time, but Kairos and V are the ones almost pulling out to kind of pull you quickly into one of the ruined buildings, so you are not caught. As you see a set of lights moving through the darkness, almost like as you were turning down some of these ruined streets, it was like a sudden turn, and you saw this, and you're kind of pulling all of yourselves into the darkness of a ruined, some sort of building that's since now kind of just mostly collapsed. And you hear the clunk of metal. Multiple sets of what sound like metal boots hitting the stone streets. Lights that flick to the left, to the right, walking along the streets as you see metallic constructs moving past you. About 8 that move together with the lights all shining out. But because of your stealth checks, they walk right past you, continuing down the streets. It takes you a second. Keep an eye out. Kairos and V. I'd say V probably the easiest for you to kind of keep an eye out until you see that the creatures are gone. I'll go ahead and send a picture of what you guys see walking past you.
Oh no, please, please. Oh no. What is that? Why does it have a gun as a hand?
He's wielding the Wizard Blaster 9000.
Oh no. Thank goodness. Do they seem to be like on like a patrol or something? Like
Yes.
making rounds?
I'll say
Oh,
no checks needed because the behavior pattern, I'd say, fits to that profile. Like you see them kind of walk. They're not going into the buildings quite per se, especially because your stealth check, you're able to stay quiet, stay out of sight. But they are kind of crossing through the streets. But you made it past this patrol, and with V's kind of call and sight allowing you to get a better vision around the corners, you're all able to keep marching until you eventually come across the building with a few lights still resting. Passing by what look to be some of these homes and other buildings that have collapsed, you see a simple metal kind of rectangular building with, from its center, instead of like a triangular roof, it's like a domed roof and some sort of spire rising out with different like pieces pointing in different directions. As you all begin to step in, I'll say, is there any checks you'd like to do as you sort of scout out this building? Because you see there's a few lights on, a few more kind of flickering from further in, but just to kind of guide your search.
I suppose just for V, just keeping an eye out on the bodies for any that are viable for Speak with Dead.
Okay.
Anything? I feel like cars. Anything that's like seems interesting, and maybe we can like salvage like stuff like that.
Okay.
Nixia's looking for anything that looks like a, how do I present? Anything pretty. um anything that looks worthy of perhaps donating to her deity.
Okay. Hell yeah. You guys can go ahead, give investigation, perception, whatever kind of checks you think are fitting to the moment.
Hmm. Do the investigation. Damn. Oh my god. That's such a low roll.
I gotta switch dice. This shit's evil. This is
Your brain damage is
perception.
gone?
I never had brain.
Oh no, Kairos is, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
17's
I
not.
think
They
Shani,
just have a 8.
you did fix your intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
You and Lysandra both
Think-
backed up.
Oh yeah. What is she doing? Is she helping us?
Yeah, I can give one of you an advantage. It's not gonna be
Hey,
Pyros.
Damn it.
I'll say Nixia, because you are outside and of Kairos. Lysandra will give you the advantage.
Cool. Well, that's much better.
Damn, specifically says fuck Kairos.
Yeah.
That's her
Oh,
motto.
that's so much better.
Okay.
25.
So 25. Kairos, you're not finding anything. You're checking through the rooms. You're not seeing much. But V, from Kairos's form, you are able to find something he misses is one of the skeletons that is still, I guess, whole enough that there is a skull that you are able to kind of grab onto. It's got some damage, but it's good enough for the purpose of spell casting. Well, I suppose as a ghost, you're not doing a lot of wiping of the dust, but you're able to try and move Kairos over towards it. But it's just lost amongst what a lot of this space looks to be is almost like rooms and offices. Is that's how you describe it? Like desks, papers, different contraptions that have now long since run out of power and have rotted away in terms of tomes and papers and things like that. But it clearly looks like a place of work. That's how you would think of it. And so as you two are doing that, you find a skull. Nixit, you turn through one of the halls and you see the lights grow brighter. You see there is a open area somewhere towards the center of the building that is still operational from what you can tell. And I think with a 25, that stands out to you. Maybe the mechanics of the operations are a little unclear. You know stuff's there. You know stuff's on. You got that detail. But a bunch of the individual rooms, buildings still look defunct, aged, in ruin. But there is one space that has a glass container with some sort of arcane wards. Not so much wards that seem to be preventing access, but more so protecting from damage and erosion. And you see inside 2 beautiful stones, almost like these beautiful opal stones that look without a single scratch except for intentionally carved arcane runes. Again, with this very fine style to maximize the usage. But you see a pair of those beneath this glass case. And also the open room. I'll go ahead and give you a little insight into the room that you see. There you go. Next, you see this kind of just open room. And you can see that this contraption in the center of the room, I'm pinging the wrong screen. This contraption in the center of the room is where you can see there's still energy flowing through. Gears turning, all that kind of stuff. And then over in one of these sort of side spaces is where you see the glass container with the 2 stones still functioning.
Uh, Kairos?
Yeah. What's up? And I'll go to
You're
Nixia.
good at magic, right?
I mean, you could say I'm more than that. I'm pretty well adept in it.
What do these do?
And she's going to like motion and towards the stones and then point at them.
Ah, yes, those are. And can I make a Arcana check?
Yeah, on the objects. Yeah. Let's say out
Do
of
I have
6.
Archie help me?
No, he's an owl.
Yeah.
But I will say on a 16, you like just barely recognize this. It takes you a second because again, it's a different style. But you're like, oh, wait a minute, I know what this is. You see a pair of sending stones in front of you.
Yes, this. I've seen these before. These are sending stones. You're familiar with those, right?
Vaguely. All that is to say, no. But I'm familiar with sending, so I can make an assumption.
Well,
Do you
yeah.
want these?
Uh, yes, I actually do. I haven't had the time to learn sending, so I feel like this will be really good for the party.
Hmm. And Nixie is gonna take out a piece of gold, like a gold coin. Stare at it for a second, and then just go heads or tails.
Heads? What are we doing here?
I'm flipping a coin.
Oh,
I'm just
okay, but what for?
decisions.
And she is gonna flip the coin, and Prin's gonna just say evens, heads, and tails. Because I don't feel like getting an actual coin.
Cool. Then you can have it.
Oh,
And then she'll put her coin away. Basically deciding on whether I wanted to keep it for myself or give it to you who wants it. It's in a glass case, so Dixie is gonna cast Ray of Frost at the glass, maybe.
Go ahead. I'll say you don't need to make an attack roll because it's pretty like easy to hit. It's just a damage roll, just seeing how much damage you do.
Cool.
is there a reason why they're behind glass? Is it like it's just a sending stone, right? To us.
Oh,
Nixia is chill, apparently.
And I'll say, Shriti, to your question, you're not quite sure, right? You just see it's behind glass. That's thankfully kept it a little bit more stable than other stuff, because there seems to be some sort of, magic protecting it from outside erosion. And then 16 to hit is all good. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, I think my Wi-Fi's dying. Question mark? Please
Okay,
work?
there we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I was like, I clicked the thing, but it's not going through.
No worries. 4 points of damage. It's not a lot. But it is just a
not.
glass case. So it is just so you kind of putting your hand out, letting the frost spread as the glass is starting to freeze up and contract, and then all of a sudden there's just a sound of glass shattering, almost kind of falling beneath your palm. The two stones are there. And about a second after, there is a brief but shrill sound that emanates from the case in front of you. Like
Oh, that's
a high pitch, just almost like whine that goes off once, twice, and then a third time.
What's that? What was that? I look around and see, like, is anything coming towards us? Like, I'm assuming it sounds like an alarm.
In fact, you do hear movement. The sounds metallic, boots hitting stone. I'm gonna need an initiative roll.
Oh no.
It sucks because literally, I was thinking about calling out weight and dough, but to ask the fucking corpse a question. But Nixia just fucking does stuff and shit happens.
No, I
I'm
like it.
sorry.
It's funny. No, I think it fits your character.
I'm the red button pusher. It makes things happen.
Where's my initiative? Oh no. Where are we on the map? Do we...
Oh, you can go ahead and put yourselves right here. It was like this side.
Gotcha. What was Lysandra doing too? Just like
Just turned and walked into the room to see that shit happen. She's like, what?
Damn, I'm rolling really low today.
Well, let's keep that going.
Oh no.
Okay. Sorry, I'm adding Lysandra in as well. She's like a little further back, but she's gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
Yeah, I can't seem to put my token on the board, so you'll have to do that for me.
Yeah, no worries. I can do that. I'm assuming because you're on the phone, it's gonna be like kind of whack.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put V right on over. Oh yeah, you are inside of Kaya, so I'll put you on the bottom.
Yeah, you can just stuff me in a corner.
10 AC, 81 hit points. Okay. Okay, there we got V. And then V, what did you get for initiative?
I got a 4.
4. Okay.
And Cairo should have 5 temp HP if he doesn't already.
Oh, yep.
Okay. And I will go ahead and roll for the new arrivals that make their way through flying in from above, from the second floor. Move them all over. Yeah, okay.
Whoa.
As you see various metallic constructs hovering into the room. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the guard bots and the detention drones.
Oh my god, there's a lot of them.
Meanwhile, Strike and Ame have just ditched us to die.
Yep, they're at another part of the building investigating as all of a sudden you guys are caught in combat, and we're gonna go ahead and start with Nixia. And let's sorry, what is everyone's passive perception?
Mine's 13 and my owl is 13 as well. Damn.
Mine's 18.
Yeah, I think because V is with you, Kairos, we'll say it's fine. You are able to react in time. So yeah, Nixia, you're up.
Like she just said, oh, that's unfortunate.
And she'll cast Buffoon for.
I'm also gonna roll for Assad for roll.
Let's do that.
20-foot radius, 3 foot. Zone. Apologies, my turns later will be faster, but right now,
Nice.
Don't worry, everyone is judging you.
no, this can't be. Okay, I think this clips.
All right, here's the
Yeah,
plan.
yes,
Throw a pair of
yeah.
cuffs on Nixia. She's the criminal here.
Kinda.
Breaking and entering, theft.
You're looking to put a 20-foot
Destruction of
radius
property.
on all of them.
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out where that would be. That would be here.
Right? Yeah, I think you'll be able to clip. Yeah, we'll say you're able to clip all of them, kind of hovering in the air.
Awesome and cool. Nixie is going to cast Ice Storm. So they will all need to make dexterity saving throws. And yeah.
So 4 of these fellas are going to make dexterity saving throws. The guard bots, what is your DC?
DC is 16.
No. These guys rolled interestingly. What about this fella? Okay. You see, what is it? Let me actually start with your spell description. What does it look like as you cast the ice into the room?
She claps her hands together and just a like cloudy haze covers the ceiling, like the horror over an ocean, and these giant crystalline rocks just fall down. It doesn't need a cloud or anything. There's just hail.
Hell yeah. The hail starts to come down. You watch as 4 of these constructs are destroyed, one after another, as they strike down. Go ahead and roll for damage as well, just to make sure. But they failed pretty well, so I'm assuming it's toast. But the detention drone does succeed.
Okay. 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage. So who's doing a little funny for that? Like going downstairs. 6 bludgeoning damage and 19 damage.
Yeah. So each of these is destroyed. The detention drone will succeed, so it'll take half of 19, so 9 points of damage. As just hail starts ricocheting into the metallic pieces. You see, these are much more than your ordinary hail, as just chunks just rip through the metal bits of what are already pretty ancient constructs at this point. And the 4 of them crumble quite quickly. Hell yeah. Anything else for your turn, Nixie?
I think I'm gonna move. No!
Okay.
Whatever. That area over here was difficult terrain.
Got it.
But I'm going to move over this way. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Lysandra will turn back, reaching out with her hand, kind of frost starting to hold on to one of these robots, this guard bot down here, and in her other hand she's going to conjure a almost small spear tip of ice and throw it through the air, and she's going to take out this construct as well, and she is going to put Kairos between her and some of these folks, I think.
Wait, what?
Actually, she'll put herself. Yeah, here. Okay. With that, Paris, it is your turn.
Okay, so I do want to keep one of these guys alive for strike. I feel like he'll maybe to reverse engineer this. Does the detention drone seem strong, or does the guard bot seem stronger?
Give me a intelligence check, because I don't believe you have Tinkerer's Tools proficiency, right?
Nope.
Yeah. Detention drone, for sure.
Okay. I yell out, keep one of them alive. And like, I mean, the detention drone. I look to the left of Kairos, and the two guard bots to the right. I'll cast Magnify Gravity on them too. So Constitution saving throw.
And you said the guard bot's on the bottom right, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Con save 1, 2. One of them will succeed, the other will fail. So you see, as you kind of summon down the force of gravity, one of these guard bots is instantly crushed, right? Metal fastenings just breaking apart, grinding down into the stone floor. The other one will still be standing. And you can recognize the kind of flimsy state of the guard bots, considering the millennia they've gone through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for Kairos' turn.
Oh yeah. These two guard bots. Kairos is doing a lot. He also managed to take my guys out, so sad. Yeah. They're going to fly together and fire at you, Kairos. I'm going to use light cannon. Let's see. Okay, one of them is going to hit. Oh, this is so ass when they're by themselves. Go ahead and give me a con saving throw.
Can I shield?
Oh, yes. What does that bring your AC up to?
22.
Yes. You will blast aside the light cannon. Okay. That sucks for them. This guy's gonna move up to you, Kairos. Which I think you can get. Yes, you can. As the detention drone starts flying up to you, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 12?
Add a D4 to it.
Oh, thank God. Oh, 13.
Okay.
Big stance.
13 is just enough to succeed. As you see,
Oh my God.
the construct from its chest, a orb appears and fires up towards you and expands in a split second around you, as for a moment you realize you are about to be captured. And then V, you, almost feeling the arcing all around you, manage to reach out and disrupt the orb before it takes hold, as all of a sudden it's targeting 2 creatures instead of 1, and you can see some of the edges of it begin to start to shimmer back and forth and then shatter. So that is a failed detention orb on that side. We're going to go ahead and try and detention orb Lysandra on the other side. She rolls a nat 20. Got it. She's fine.
Screw her. Oh.
And the detention drone is going to try and hit you, Kairos. Go ahead and give me a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Would it hit? Or is it this to me?
This goes straight to save, buddy.
Oh, God. Alright, dexterity.
I like how none are targeting Nixia, the one who caused this.
Yeah. They're just going for the closest.
Smiley face.
That is going to be a success. So you managed to avoid its hand grabbing onto you, Kairos. And your shield keeps you protected as lightning begins to arc out from its hands. The other detention drone is going to try and force Lysandra into a save as well. She succeeds. And it's going to go ahead and fire a shot of lightning, which Nixia, you are able to avoid pretty easily. And you can see these constructs might have once been a lot more potent, but the years have eroded them. Yeah, they're not cooking too hot right now after you guys succeeded. So V, it is your turn.
Spiritual weapon attack the one right next to Kairos.
Okay.
If you could plop that down on the board for me.
Yes, I can. You got that fire.
And that is a 12 to hit.
Unfortunately, 12. You can see the make of the constructs is still decent. So even though they've kind of gotten weaker over time, the overall exteriors are still decently solid. It's able to raise its kind of bracer, and just the metallic surface alone blocks the spiritual weapon in this moment.
Alright, then I'll use my action to harmonize the Kairos.
Okay.
Give his next attack advantage and extra damage.
Hell yeah.
And that's my go.
Sweet. With that, Nixia, it is you and Lysandra.
Cool. Are there any other glass cases in here?
That was the only one you saw with any like items inside. The rest are either broken, damaged, kind of, in disrepair.
Cool. Send to keep one alive. So, are we keeping the detention? Wait, are we? She doesn't know what they're called. Are we keeping the detention bots alive or the guard bots?
Sorry, I should have specified intact, not alive.
Intact, not alive.
Yeah, just not like crushed or obliterated. The detention drone.
Got it. Then we'll keep this simple. I will attack this detention drone with my warhammer.
Okay.
So that is a 17 to hit.
17 just hits.
Cool. Two. 11 damage.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember. Did we ever put that crystal that allows me to make things prone or not in
Yep.
my warhammer?
Yeah, I think you guys would have been able to fix it and like strike himself in a dome with not a lot of effort. It's not like crafting a whole new item.
Okay. I have to remember this fucking smite. Anyway, then yeah, I'll make it prone.
Okay. And I believe it was a saving throw. Okay, it's the blessed weapon. Do you know what the DC for this one is?
I do not. I don't think I ever got an item card. I don't know if there is one in that.
So, just to be certain. Okay. It is going to be DC 10.
DC 10? Okay.
So,
I'll put a note in.
you see the drone is going to be knocked prone.
Cool. How about this one? And she's gonna point. This one good?
Yes, and like I'm like bobbing and weaving against the other one.
Cool. So this is the one that prioritized keeping alive. That said, that is my turn. I'm not gonna do anything else.
Okay. Seeing that as you've knocked this thing prone, Lysandra will not need to use her bonus action for a shove, and she's going to go straight using Chill Touch on this thing. And you're going to watch as like bits of the metal begin to rust, and she's going to deal 10 points of necrotic damage. But as she casts a spell, this thing's going to use its reaction to reach out and grab onto Lysandra's, like, we'll say, because you knocked her prone, onto her legs, and like almost pull her down for a sec, and she is grappled. And in fact, she did pretty bad, so she is dazed as well. That is Lysandra and Nixia. Karos, it is your turn on the other end.
Oh boy. Dazed? That's interesting. Do I see that happening? Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to, like, pass... Okay.
I'll say you guys are pretty close.
Oh.
You see that happen.
Okay. Seeing that, I think Pyros just, like, looks to the going and figures out, like, we're in a city that used to be owned by, like, powerful wizards. Perhaps it's, like, meant to, combat against, like wizards. Or sorcerers. So he's gonna take out a sword, and he's gonna swing at the drone.
Okay.
I do have advantage, right? Because of,
Yep.
Beastly? Awesome. I swing with the thought blade. Wow. That...
Fortunately,
oh my god.
that is a miss.
Oh wait, I specified. Wait, what did we help? Okay. Wow. That took a lot of things out. Yeah, I'll just kind of like step away if I can. I'm disengaged, but seeing how everything's going, I'll move here, just like 15 feet away.
I'm gonna go ahead and use its opportunity attack against you. It's an 18 hits.
Oh. I'll take it.
Okay. You are gonna get struck with 4 points of lightning damage. Can you go ahead and give me a con save?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, just 10 hit points. 10 feet. Oh.
You had a D4 con save. Not that you need it.
I'll still roll it anyway.
26, yeah, you're fine. But you take a little bit of lightning damage from the jolt.
Not even. The temp HP ate it.
That's true. It's just like a little bit of the ghostly aura. And you're gonna see as you're doing this, because there's like this moment as the drone sees you strike out with a sword, and it's more so the advantage, right? This idea of like your like empowered strike, and the drone is going to tilt its head and call out, familiar, detected, dismantle familiar before apprehending criminal. And the two guard bots are going to take aim and fire at Archie, not you.
No, why?
It's like you said, maybe they're a little familiar with some mage strategies, but they're, you know, they see Archie flying around, you kind of using a distraction, they don't know who's who.
Technically, Archie, he's not given the command, he gets the dodge action.
Yeah, he can have the dodge action, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's more like you can tell they're misattributing what V's doing to Archie. So they're going to make this attack at disadvantage. 1, 2, what is Archie's AC?
11.
Eating grilled owl tonight.
How much health does Archie have?
What do you think, man? He's got 1 hit point.
You know, the light cannon, after years of damage and ruin and erosion, does exactly 1 damage.
Are you serious?
Excuse me.
Oh my god.
And Archie is going to get shot out of the air. The laser kind of firing through his wing as Archie kind of tilts, falling back, landing on the ground. The starlight beginning to fade away as Archie turns to nothingness. And that is the 2 guard bots taking shots at your owl. Detention
Oh my
drones.
God.
Let's see if they get their orb back. Nope, they do not. Sad. Go ahead and give me a strength or dex save again, Kairos.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
You are also grappled, but you are not dazed. You did not fail that badly. Okay. I rolled minimum. You take 1 point of damage as you are grappled. And then there's going to be a follow-up attack with an 18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Another 4 points of lightning damage, and go ahead and give me a con save.
V will take the damage.
Okay.
No.
Oh wait, so you have 1 temp HP left, and it was 4 damage.
Well, 1 damage already took out the it's 4 damage total.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So I just take the 4 damage in total.
Okay.
You still have that 1 temp HP.
That one got removed by the grapple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did exactly 1 damage, so... Well, But V does take the hit, and the lightning does not affect you, Kairos, with that con save. So you two are fine. The other drone has Lysandra in one hand, and that is it's not quite Lysandra's turn yet. But it is going to be, let's see, let's go for Nixia with the other hand. Go ahead and give me a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Okie dokie.
Nat 1, Nat 1, Nat 1. Yes.
Why are you preying on my downfall?
don't play.
You guys are giving me too much power. Okay, 6 points of bludgeoning damage to Nixia as you see it's holding on to Lysandra in one hand, gets up, and then grabs you with the other. And is beginning to contract and tighten. And we're going to go ahead and use Jolting Touch on Lysandra. Which will hit, and Lysandra will take 4 points of lightning damage. But she will succeed on the con save, so she's fine. In terms of any additional effects. Yeah, the drones have a hold of Nixia, Lysandra, and Kairos. All you are getting held a little bit by these kind of apprehension drones. V, it is your turn, and then Lysandra.
Spiritual weapon attack against the one next to Kairos.
Fortunately,
Goddamn.
Miss. It's dead.
And just harmonizing with Kairos again. That's my go.
Okay. Nixia, it's you and Lysandra. You're both being grappled, and you're both, because you're grappled at the start of your turns, going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Not a lot, but something.
Okay. Well, just because I'm grappled doesn't mean that I can't do this. I'll Ray of Frost the. Yeah.
Okay. So casting Ray of Frost, it will be at disadvantage because it's up close.
Yeah. That is okay.
16 will just miss.
Yeah. Okay.
But I will say, as you're doing this, Lysandra will cast, kind of looking over, Ray of Frost as well, and she'll kind of take the opportunity, like that reaction strike, as you're both still being held grappled. She tries to push away the drone, but she's unable to succeed. It's planted too firmly, but her Ray of Frost will hit for, well, not a lot, but 5 points of damage. Just a teeny tiny bit.
Nothing wrong with some baby stuffs. I guess that's us, right?
I think it's the two of you as you're still being held up by the drone. It is looking rough. Like, it's holding you guys, but it's like you can see pieces of metal have been like frosted and like, torn apart because of your attacks. So it's not looking good at all.
Cool.
And then with that, Kairos, it is your turn as you're also being held up. What do you want to do? You got harmonization too.
Yeah, I like look at. Oh. Yeah, I think I'll probably press that. I see Lysandra's like dazed, and I think that kind of like forces Kairos to action, and he looks towards the detention drone next to Lysandra, and he'll also cast Ray of Frost against it.
Okay, go ahead and roll it to disadvantage. Oh, it'll be flat.
I'm not dazed, right?
Well, there's a detention drone literally holding on to you
it's
from the other side.
You're in melee range of the drone.
Oh, that gives disadvantage?
I
Okay.
believe so, yeah, because you're still next to them.
Yeah, when something's in melee range of you, you have disadvantage on ranged attacks.
But it will be
because
flat.
it can intervene and fuck you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 15 is not enough, Kairos.
Wow, you're rolling. Oh.
Yeah, these are
fine.
low rolls.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, the guard bots are looking at you and looking at each other, looking at you, and they're gonna go ahead and take some shots. Both hit. Give me a con save, Kairos.
Oh god.
You have a D4.
Oh no, didn't even matter.
That's not saving him. You see as they point and blasts of light hit you. You only take 2 points of damage, but you are blinded.
I'll take those 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Why still blinded?
You're still blinded, but no damage. In the detention drones, they do not get their orb, sad. They are just gonna, well, keep holding Lysandra and Nixia, so it's just gonna make one attack against each of you. That is a nat 1, Nixia, so I'm assuming that misses, and a 19 against Lysandra. She is going to cast Shield to parry that.
Oh wait, it hit me. Can I Wrath of the Storm?
It missed you.
Oh, it missed me. Okay, fair.
Yeah, I got a nat 1 against you, so it is. It's a complete miss. But it will kind of be parried by Lysandra on the other end. And then the detention drone holding on to you. Oh, Kairos, I forgot. You were grappled at the start of your turn. You take another 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Oh dang.
Vacia's taking all these little hits.
I need to
That's,
roll above a 6. That's all I need today.
okay, so one of the attacks, Kairos misses you, but the other one is a 20 to hit. That does hit you. Unless you want a shield.
Nah, just I'll take it.
Okay, 8 points of lightning damage. Go ahead and give me a con save.
All right. Let's see. That's another 8 Kairos is taking.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
so I'm
sure.
stealing that as well.
Okay.
I've taken a grand total of 16 points of damage for him so far.
Okay. See, it's a little bit adding up. You
Come on.
actually,
Oh,
I think V still gives you a bonus, right? For this?
34.
Yeah, D4.
D4, which
Okay,
will
16.
push you from failure into success.
Oh, thank you.
Lucky mage. As this thing is unable to quite shut you down, but it is still holding you up. V, it is you, and then Lysandra Nixia.
All right. I don't want to waste my manifest, do I?
There's a whole lot of city
Nah.
left.
Yeah, I think you're good. Like, did you see-
Yeah.
We just gonna roll higher now.
Yeah, this fight's just dragging on. They're not really doing much other than just like fucking groping you. So
They're just holding us up like little babies.
Yeah.
spiritual weapon attack at 1 next
That
to
hits.
Kairos. Fucking finally.
These are unusually low attack rolls. Lower compared to normal. 10 force.
10.
And again, you see 10 points of damage is a big swing against this thing. It's like bloody right off that hit.
And yeah, harmonize again with Kairos, and that's my go.
Okay. Nixia and Lysandra.
Can I still use my... Yeah, I can still use my Warhammer here, right?
Yeah, you can.
I'll
Yeah,
hold-
just break its legs.
Right?
Yeah, she'll kick the Warhammer at it.
Hell yeah.
We'll do that.
And even though it's holding you up, you take your Warhammer and just slam down into it. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
Is it straight or disadvantage? I forgot.
This
Straight.
This is straight because you're only grappled. You're not like restrained or anything.
Cool.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Cool and awesome. I will do this. Now I'll also not forget this time to Thunderous Strike, because I can do that on literally everything, and I don't know why I don't.
Yep. Adding a little bit of that storm into the strike. Go ahead and roll for that.
I know that's Thunderbolt Strike. Where's the... It's Divine Strike. It's a D8.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Oh, please ignore that.
No worries.
Acknowledge this one. 15.
15 points of damage. Nixia, what does it look like as you take this detention drone out of commission?
Well, I'm being held up, so it's not as flashy as what she usually does, but she's going to take her warhammer and, just for the sake of leverage, kick around it and just smash it into the detention drone's knees. Call it a day.
Smashing into the knees, you see it immediately collapses, losing some of that strength, and both you and Lysandra are able to pull off, as even though the top half is a little bit more together, it's still covered in frost, and with the bottom half just ruined by the warhammer, just starts sparking and collapses.
Perhaps maybe we preserve the other one.
I will try my best. And as she's kind of looking at you, she'll turn, put a hand towards the drone, and fire a ray of frost into it. And that's going to be 15 points of cold damage. That leaves this thing at death's door. As she kind of like almost goes, I was hoping to take care of it with that one. And we'll leave it to you, Kairos.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Shocking Grasp on it.
Okay.
Can I... It did, like, lightning damage. Can you... Is there start checking it to see if it's effective against it?
Yeah, you can try an
Can you
Arcana
like-
check. I'll say because it's a construct.
Don't
Short
tase me, bro.
circuit. Short circuit.
It uses it, but you're not quite sure if there's resistance or anything. You just think it's like using that damage.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna punch it with Shocking Grasp.
Okay. This drone is made of metal. You can go ahead. I believe this would
Yeah.
give Shock and Grasp advantage.
I don't want
He
to be
will
that
already
guy.
have it.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, double advantage.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm blinded.
Oh, so flat. Good call.
Yeah. I hate that, but...
Oh,
Okay, 22,
good
that's
hit
what
on the
we
flat.
needed. For 9
9
points.
points of lightning damage.
Plus 14.
Uh,
Oh, jeez.
I mean, this thing's in the red, but yeah, 23. Carlos, how do you take this robot out of commission?
So it's like, even though Kairos is blinded, it's like there's V's guidance, like, almost like moving his hand a bit, and Kairos is about to miss it, but just at the last second, he grabs like the top of the head of the construct, and sends off like a electrical pulse through it, hoping to like deactivate it at the moment, like kind of just shut down the insides, rather than to like damage it further.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much frying its internals.
Yeah.
All too familiar with that one, huh?
Just like my computer. No. How could you do this to me, Kairos?
Sorry.
Hell yeah. You do notice something though, Carlos. As you fry the drone, you do realize you can overload it with lightning, should you ever come across a similar model. You've discovered the weakness to the detention drone, which is when it takes lightning damage, it has to make a con save, or it might end up getting stunned as you overload its systems.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was hesitating because I was like, this thing did lightning to me. Maybe it has resistance.
Yeah.
But damn it. Okay.
Hell yeah. In terms of the guard bots, they missed their attacks that rolled. So V, it would take, you are able to go ahead and make your spiritual weapon attack if you'd like to just take them out.
Oh, yeah, sure. Boop.
27 definitely hits. These things are not bad, but you guys are rolling good against them, so it's easy enough. 10 points of force damage. That's going to take one of them out of commission, and Lysandra, go ahead and Ray of Frost. Chill touch, but Ray of Frost the other. These are much weaker than the detention drones, and they collapse pretty quickly. And you look around, and you see these littered remains of constructs around the area. But you kind of pause. There's no sounds of any more coming, at least for now.
Ah, what stars. These were... Ah, these were annoying.
But now you have standing stones.
That's true, yes. And I do appreciate you with the restraint you showed. How heavy are these things? Like,
Are you sure those are sending stones? I mean, they were kept in this big room in that container, and, well, they were guarded. Before you go fiddling with that, can you go grab that skull from earlier?
Are you talking to me or?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't find a skull.
Yeah, I mean, uh, what skull are you referring to? Are you referring to the one we passed?
Yes, in that room before we rushed in here.
Uh, yeah, sure. Perhaps we can have Nixie and Lysandra here. Just give me one moment, and I'm gonna try to stuff one of the drones into the bag of holding.
Okay. You just grab one of them. You're like struggling to lift it up. You see, Lysandra will use Mage Hand to help you out because she is the empowered one. And you guys are able to sort of throw one of the detention drones into the bag of holding. Um, you are also able to go back, grab the skull pretty easy. If there's anything you want to do with that.
Yeah, pretty much V will pop out of Kairos and essentially direct Kairos to hold the skull up, only for her to reach out and quote unquote touch it with her skeletal arm and cast Speak of Dead.
Yeah.
As she's doing that, can I ritual cast?
Oh, what would you like to ritual cast?
I'm debating between my bird or my horse. Probably my bird. So I'll spend money for my bird.
Okay. Drop a little bit of incense. Meanwhile, V, you are able to create that connection. Cast Speak of Dead. So
All right, and just to clarify, this building, that chamber, was that kind of like the main center chamber of this building?
it is the main chamber of the building. Yep.
Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, I suppose I'll ask the first question of what is the purpose of this building? What work do you do here?
You see from the skull a like barely tangible spirit rises because of the age. Um, there's no restrictions on how long somebody's been dead when I first speak with them.
No, it's not.
Okay. Um, yeah, it's only if like somebody had cast it before and nobody has. But what you see is like unlike a clear spirit, right, of somebody that has passed recently, this is like it's almost like the head, and it just becomes this gaunt, almost like flutter of like energy. Like you are barely tapping into the memories of the body, uh, and you see it begins to kind of turn towards you, just empty sockets. This building was the communications chamber, meant for conducting contact and announcements across the city.
I assume that's the answer to the question.
Mm-hmm. Or what was the building? Yep.
I suppose the second question is those stones in the central chamber within that glass container, what is so unique about them? Why are they housed in such a way?
Those were advanced sending stone models, kept for emergencies. Multiple cases, just to be safe. And you can kind of make out the other places where things have been destroyed, turned to rubble. that there might be bits of glass that were from other cases or kind of communications like tables.
Hmm. I suppose the third question is these metal guardsmen that patrol this city, is there a way to prevent them from attacking us? And if so, how?
You must not break the rules of the city. They are the enforcers, and you would need sufficient clearance to prevent them attacking you to a degree. Clearance badges. They would be difficult to acquire if you are not from within the city's leadership. And for a moment, it's like the skull almost kind of turns back and then leans forward. The trial. Complete the Academy's trial that can allow students to acquire sufficient status.
I suppose the fourth question would be within the city, that grove of plants, what is its purpose? Tell me about that location.
The Arboretum, home to the city's garden and forest, used for maintaining, growing, and harvesting key materials, the crafting of magical items, and the use in alchemy.
All right. DM, can you remind me the name of the artifact we're here for?
You guys don't actually have like a name for it. It's just referred to as the obelisk by like the order, the obsidian obelisk.
Right. And I suppose for my last question would be, we are looking for an artifact, an obelisk that is here in the city. We believe it's deeper below. Do you know of a way to delve deeper into the city?
I do not have clearance to know about the crux eterna, but the only place beneath the city would be my Thalar chamber, the engine which keeps the city in the sky. I do not have clearance to enter.
I suppose the magic would fade as it gives that answer, and the skull returns to being just a skull.
No.
Yeah, V, I suppose, would look to Kairos and say, well, I suppose if we're to get anywhere with this city, we're going to need more of this clearance.
Yeah, like they mentioned clearance. I think I have level 2, right?
Nope.
Just level 1?
The one.
Ah, okay.
And also,
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
well, V was going to continue and say, well, you heard the skull. Apparently, there's this trial you can complete to gain more of it. Maybe enough to open the way for us?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm not sure how it'll affect the others, but at least Ame, Strike, and I, we all went through. Oh, and Lysandra too, but we all went through that trial once, and we got level 1. Um, hmm. Where did they say the trial was again?
That. Fuck. I'm blanking on this. Yim, can you remind me?
They didn't, because it was just the skeleton, right, giving a response of,
Oh,
that is how you do it, but not where. Right.
But we did see that magic-looking tower, didn't we?
There was some sort
yeah.
of weird, like, spatial magic-looking tower. That's true. One thing I will note, I think Lysandra might call this out. The spirit spoke about access when you mentioned constructs, the guards. Did not mention the trial when it came to the artifact. The trial might get us part way. Maybe the clearance will open routes previously accessible. But if the artifact is as powerful as we think it is, I doubt any beyond the leaders of the city would have direct clearance to access it. At least, that's what seems reasonable to me. How the Ethereal Empire, the hierarchy, very important.
Hmm. I suppose you're right. Um, what did we gain from the last trial? It was the clearance, but didn't we also get something else?
You're talking about way back when with the
Yeah,
ruins. You got
in the ruins.
level 1 clearance, which was apprentice level. Like, you were effectively
Yeah,
outsiders
it
apprenticing to the city.
right.
And you just got a few little items. That was it. You got some items.
That's okay.
It's like
Well,
encouragement.
mm, well, I suppose there's nothing else we could do besides to keep on investigating, finding out where that trial is. Like
Right.
you said, it'll get us one step closer to the artifact. And yeah, I mean,
I can't
trials.
ask any more questions of this body, but if we find any more fairly intact corpses, I could ask more questions. And of course, if you think up of any other questions when we find one, I'll relay them.
Yes, no, that's right. Hmm. Well, perhaps we should ask questions about the structures if we come across the bodies. So, but you're right. Maybe as we get closer to one structure and we find a body, we can start interrogating the souls of those people.
Well, it's not really their souls, more so just the imprints left behind.
Huh. I guess that's a happier thought. Well, shall we move forward then?
Let's. And then V's going to slurp back into his chest.
Oh, yeah.
Schlorp is maybe the worst word you could have used.
That's why I chose it.
I know. Anyway, yeah, sure. We ball? Are we moving on?
Yeah, we trudge on.
I mean,
Let's do it.
do you want to investigate the building yourself? Because I mentioned it's a communications.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought like when we took the sending stones, it like shut it off or something. The sending stones just like for display. That's it.
No, like, you get the sending stones, but you saw there was like something in the center of the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll investigate the clock. Right,
Yeah.
in center.
If you want to give
Yeah.
like an Arcana check.
Let's do it. 21.
Sending stones were meant for maybe emergencies, and now that you realize there might have been more, hey, they're advanced, but they're not like one of a kind. And I think you would equate them to like emergency call devices, effectively. But multiple, right? But the spirit mentioned using this entire place for communications, updates, emergency. You look to the center and you realize, wait, what if the sending stones were just there for individual purposes? what is this way of communicating throughout the city? And you look down and you see that central, like, kind of circular chamber, uh, in fact, has rooms that can be utilized to activate what you believe is the communication hub that the spirit referred to. And on 21, you think it would take you a little bit of effort to like make sure you get the sequencing right, that kind of stuff. Because again, your permissions are not that great, but this is more workable, right? Like this is more like you could try and figure it out. But it would allow you to communicate with anyone in the city. So it's like casting a sending spell to anyone here. That would take 0 effort, and there's no like word limit for you contacting a person.
Oh.
You could attempt to do individual communications. You're not sure how strong the networks are for like, you know, any sort of broader citywide communication. And you would also, possibly on a 21, you think you could try communicating outside the city. But that is a lot more like risky. Well, not risky, but it's like unlikely to work.
But yeah, I mean, I relay that to the party and say, "This is amazing. We can communicate with anyone in the city and possibly outside." Um, I think without even asking, Kairos will contact his mother and uncle
Okay.
immediately. Like, just see if that works.
Yeah. I'll say for this first attempt, because Strike would also, you know, Strike Nami would get here at this point. You'd have Strike's help, so he can do the check in this scenario. In terms of actually getting through them, that is luck. The way it'll work is it's a d20 roll on a, what's it called? An 18, 19, or 20. It will go through. Anything lower, and it will not work.
Okay, we ball.
I just realized that we've essentially infiltrated Comcast.
Might have to raise the or narrow the margin of success if it's to be accurate.
No.
No, but yeah.
Damn.
The cable company.
5 away.
But yeah, a lot like real life. You try, and you are like watching a Strike helps it operate this, and there's a flash of light, and you can see, and for a moment there's like a an apparition of magic. And you can see different points in the city barely flickering with light where communications are still accessible. But as you try and go beyond the barrier, you see the magic begin to fade and kind of grow dim and fizzle out. You don't think you'll be able to attempt another outward communication for at least another 10 minutes.
Damn, I think seeing that Kairos is like frustrated that he did that immediately without looking into the limit. And he says, I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to check. I guess what's our next course of action? Do we see if anyone else is in the city, or?
Well, we could, or we could refer back to your plan. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 location set plan.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's do that. Perhaps we can come back.
I do have an idea.
Yeah?
Do you think this could communicate to the metal guardsmen? The enforcers, they were called? Maybe you could send a big message to all of them that there is a issue in one location of the city far away from where we plan to go, so we have less of them to run into.
That's a good point. But where would you suggest we should tell them to go?
Maybe just a far corner? We're intending on going to those locales. That tower, the garden, and that forge, right?
Yeah.
Hmm? I suppose maybe a border a decent distance away from that direction?
Yeah, that could work. Um, we could probably find a location where we wouldn't really have to run into them later on, and hopefully they stay there rather than just roaming around afterwards. Question is do we stay here for another 10 minutes, or should we keep on going?
Well, to clarify, DM, it's only the 10 minutes for an outward message. This is a message going to the city itself.
Correct.
So he
Oh,
should just
so
be able to do it, right?
You can try. Now, this is not like you know the person's name and you're calling. This is more like you're trying to. You don't even know if it'll work with constructs, but you can try. It's a
oh, okay.
separate
It's
line of
worth a
Yeah,
try.
communication. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even we're here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Carlos, if you want, you can make the Arcana check at advantage because you got your allies here, and you got Strike here, who's familiar. So you could try and see if you can find a way to contact the constructs.
All right, here we go.
Plus, we have a bunch of dead ones around, so I imagine taking a minute to have Strike look at him and see if he can figure anything out to that end would help.
Fortunately,
Yeah, but I rolled so
That's a
low.
12.
I fucking rolled a
so
4.
what you realize is communications to the constructs is a little different, right? Because that's commands. This is more like a communications hub for like the citizens themselves. And these constructs, the ones you're dealing with, are not living in the way that some other stories of Netheril speak of. These are just pure functional constructs. Now, you do think a workaround would be trying to communicate to specific places and just verbally saying this is a command from the communications hub, but you don't know what kind of code or clearance that would require, right? You're just like, you can try a physical message, but as you're trying to find points along the way to the garden that have still functioning like communication like signals. There's nothing quite there. So you're kind of like trying different things are sparking, and you're starting to get frustrated, and you're like, it's not working. It's not impossible, but it's just not working right now.
Okay. I think I'll try one more time in terms of communications. So, remind me, like, if I just say a message out in the open, is it like, is it relayed to every like person inside,
No,
or
sorry.
to everything?
So what you can do is there's people. If there's somebody you know, you can cast it like sending, right? Like you got a description or you got a name. You can be like, hey, release a communication to this person. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
can try and find like almost like what would be the equivalent, like speakers, effectively. Like you're effective. You could try and find active speakers to then communicate to as well. So it's either individual or like a outbound message to like a speaker set.
Gotcha. I think okay. I'm gonna try one thing, or technically two things. Um, because I know of these two people and their capabilities, I feel like they are probably here. So because they're one of the parties, Kairos will first send a message. He'll say, fuck it. Come in, Nazarick. This is Kairos of the Maystar Cloak. Are you there? Come in. I just like report that out.
Okay. Shuni, I'll ask. Pick a high or low.
I can't ask you that. Ask someone else.
Uh,
I keep rolling.
Okay. We'll say, Rin, a high or low?
Low.
Okay. Let's go ahead. I'll put a dice in public channel or public chat. Let's see. You said
Oh
low.
god. Damn it.
No response.
Ugh. I hate this.
There's
I
no
don't know why
cost to
I
that
roll
message,
like
though,
this.
right? It's just you're
Yeah.
sending it. Doesn't seem to find a target from what you can tell.
Okay.
You want to try something else?
I message the thread.
Okay.
I say, oh, what was his name? Sorry, I have my notes here.
Thessos?
Thessos, yeah. Thessos, come in.
Okay.
This is Kairos of the Mini-Star Cloak. Are you there? Report back.
Rin, you staying with Lo? Oh, actually, just take. Oh, Brian, you're here.
Everyone.
Hey
Hey, what's
yo.
up?
Sorry to put you right on the spot, but do you mind picking high or low, Brian?
Okay. I don't even know the scenario. Low.
Okay, going for a little luck check. So let's see, is it gonna be low? Well, by
Let's
God,
go.
it is. As you call out, send the outbound message, there's a response. Well, Kairos. Can't believe you've made it here in one piece. And breathing. Is Lysandra still with you?
Hey, look back and like sigh and then say, well, can't say it's a delight to hear your voice again, but I'm glad you're here. And yes, Lysandra is here. What's your location?
Not quite certain. I think I'm somewhere southwest in the city. Bunch of ruins all around, but I see a tower out near the center. Do gotta warn you. A ton of folks came in with me. I think about a dozen. I've only got a handful. Still by my side.
What happened?
Well, we jumped through and got a little split up when that happened.
Okay. That's fine. Um, you mentioned a tower in the center. Yes, we're actually close by there. In the communications bay, there's a little building next to it. You should see some lights. But tread carefully. There are a couple patrol drones. I think they just attack anything on sight. Have you heard of Azric? Do you know where he is?
Mm, no, but he couldn't have been that far behind. Sure, he's here, gonna be here soon enough.
Um, give me 1 second. I look back to the party and say, okay, so it seems that we have more options now. Should we travel in a larger group, or should we split up our groups? Meaning that my other two classmates, perhaps they can venture to the other locations. Or do you think we can be stronger in numbers?
It's probably best to have as many people together as possible. We've only seen decayed remnants so far, but there's something wrong with this place. Better safe than sorry.
That's that's true. Perhaps we can establish like a base here, kind of like a camp, just till we have a point to regroup and such. Let's do that.
This would be the best place for that.
Yeah, yeah. Literally that. And I say, Azric, come in. This is Kairos again. Um, Meet us here in the communications bay. Again, it's the building next to the center tower. Really hard to miss. We'll set up a base of operations here, and then perhaps we can try to contact Azric. Um, how many people did you say you have again?
We got 3 with me. But isn't that a bit risky? Putting us all in one spot? Last I checked, we were on a timetable.
Good point. I did want someone to be here to be able to kind of communicate through everyone. Um, but I don't want to leave someone alone. Um,
As
yeah.
just to jump in, I mean, is there I missed the last hour, so is there a danger that we know about?
Just that there's drones going about. There's gargoyles.
Plus,
Like
V
how
had a
more?
spooky vision.
Like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, V is pretty much very concerned about the bad vibes. and is relaying, better safe than sorry. Let's be quick, not linger in this place too long.
Yeah, they said that they're southwest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say, fine. I guess you have a point. There should be a tower in the southwest. We don't know what it is, but perhaps you could investigate it. We'll try to hit up the northeast, and then perhaps we can meet in the northwest. There's a forge of some kind there. We might need some hands on that.
Well, I can start trekking my way north. Meet you at this forge.
Oh, is he? I mean, can I insight check why he's not going to that tower in the southwest?
Yeah. You can roll an insight check.
Does he not see? I'm scared. I have 0 or 12
Add a D4 to it.
and a D4 and a 16.
Yes.
You're just picking up that if there's an objective, Thesis is the type to
He just wants
kind of race you there.
Thinks that right.
It's that vibe.
Okay. Fine. Do what you want. Just remember not to lose the rest of your men. And I hang up.
Well,
Fuck that guy.
can't quite hang up because it's sending, so he will still respond.
No, you're
It's up to you. Either I come to the comms room that you're talking about, or I head north. You decide.
I mean, since Strike is here again, do you think Thessos should investigate the forge, or should we go there? It seems that he prioritizes that location the most.
Just for quick context, what have we seen so far? Or have we seen anything?
Yeah, like we so that light, like the building with lights that Nixia saw. Oh yeah, perfect, thanks. So like the from the docks tower, the one path, that's where we are right now, and like we saw like a bunch of like those robots like patrolling around here, and then inside we kind of like found a sending stone, broke glass, and alerted the guards, and they came in, but they seem weaker because of just how long they've been here. So and then we found like this communications device that's able to communicate outside the location of the city, but only after like 10 minutes after each message, basically, or after each sending. But inside the city, it can communicate any number of times. So now
And
I tried.
okay, well, somebody you can keep going.
Oh no, that's it. Like I just communicated with back in like to Kars's mom and uncle, but then he moved to his two classmates that were here, Thessos and Azric.
Okay, we have more people from the group here somewhere in the city, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
That's what that was.
Thessos was able to respond back. He's in the southwest, so I think he's near the unknown tower. But he says he wants to go to the forge, and I think because I inside checked him because I was like, why doesn't he not want to go to the tower? He's like thinking that's like, maybe that's a place he thinks that the artifact could be, or he's just trying to like race us to there, basically.
Okay.
So is like
we're currently at the comms tower, and we haven't.
Yes.
That's like path one, and we haven't gone to the odd garden yet, right?
Yeah,
Nope.
but we could path to the strange forge instead. Kind of meet Thessos there.
Yeah. Okay.
We do
but
know
then
that
Kairos-
the Odd Garden is just like a farm alchemical place for materials, so it doesn't seem that important.
Okay. And Kylos wants to do something else. Go down to the special tower, or
Kairos
spatial.
thinks.
Sorry.
I do like the spatial part of it, but Kairos is thinking maybe going to the forge because he doesn't want Thessos to beat him there, basically.
Well,
Okay,
that
the
and
only-
regroup.
And the only consideration would be to leave somebody in the comms tower for communication purposes, right? Is that what the part?
Yeah, I wanted to ask someone from Thessos' party to do it, but they only have 3 people, so I was like, having someone alone here might be too risky.
Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. Unfortunately, Levi is not intelligent enough yet to fill that role. Okay. Have we learned of any like accelerated timetable thing, or we just kind of assume that there's a timetable?
I think we're assuming it's a timetable.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, and also, we actually managed to get a robot for you, if you want to tinker with it later.
A robot?
Mhm.
You you grabbed one of the drones?
Yeah, I shocked it and like deactivated it, and then like I threw it in the bag of holding.
Plus,
Oh
there
fuck
is a
yeah!
bunch of like half destroyed ones lying about in
True,
the
yeah.
calm place now.
You
We
kind
should
of like put
totally
them.
we should totally grab some parts. That'd be awesome. Okay, that'd be really cool. Okay, so we probably if he's close to the unknown tower, did Thassos look at that in detail, or is he just close to it?
No, he's just close to it. I asked him to take a look at it, but he's like, actually, I'm going to the forge. So yeah, that's just how he is.
He's
I mean,
also
just
That's
overall plan, we could just skip
Yeah.
the garden because we don't need alchemical shit. That just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah.
Check out the forge, then regroup with that guy, go to the tower, and then finally go to the last tower.
Yeah, I mean, I do think maybe later on the garden might be useful. Just
If there's time,
like, yeah. So yeah, I think for now we should just go to the forge. I think
yeah. I agree with
that's
that.
probably
As long as if we're worried about danger, like the drones and the gargoyles, or whatever else might be out there, then doing a single group would be useful. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm Strike's on board to go straight there. He probably would have volunteered to go there if we split up anyway. So it's all good.
Yep. Let's do it. Let me mark that. Okay, yeah. I mean, we get ready, and then we'll get to the strange forge.
okay.
Did anything happen, materials or spell slots wise with Strike while I was up? Or
No, like I don't think we used anything. I was
Shrek
gonna
was in the
ask
other room.
because, yeah, I was gonna ask like how much is there a number of spell slots for that prototype you have, or like what's the
so how it works is there's a number of charges that we gain for certain. You can gain by a number of ways, and you can use those charges in a number of ways. Um, so we currently have 26,
Whoa.
but and we used 4 to give you a second level spell slot.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. 2
Yeah,
charges
we
to
had
spell slot.
we had 30, but it only requires if you're going within like 1, 2, and 3 level spell slots, I think you only need 1 charge to bump it up to the next level.
Oh, okay.
Above 3, it requires more.
Gotcha.
So there's some rules there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's leave it there. There's only because I rolled it after the whole RP. I'll say the the heat or the shocks that you got from your fingers was a bit more intense than you might have expected, or Strike might have expected.
Interesting. Sounds like an overheating of a device, yeah. That's kind of concerning, but I'll keep note of that.
Okay. So you all are going to head northwest, traveling through the kind of ruins of the city. Go ahead, everybody roll a group stealth check as you once again try and stay low, stay calm, stay quiet, avoiding any sort of major interactions with the patrol like constructs and drones. And if anyone wants to do any sort of scouting along the way, let me know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll have my owl do some scouting and then
Oh wait, I
hit that.
just realized. Did I even roll? Given I'm possessing Kairos.
Yeah.
We'll allow that roll to kind of fade into Kairos. We'll see if he rolls well. And
I'll give myself advantage.
yeah, go ahead and do that. Everyone.
The last attempt, Was there a stealth check earlier?
Yeah, but I think because I just had like the folks who weren't here not roll, not to worry about it.
Yeah. We
Okay.
got 2 nat 20s, so we're chilling.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the other
nice.
thing. It was 2 natural ones.
Nice. Okay.
So, okay. 12, god damn it.
Okay.
I guess I'll I'm going to try something only because Strike isn't necessarily that dexterous. He's gonna use, just in case, he's gonna use his armor to cast disguise self. And he's gonna I guess grow a little shorter because he's decently tall. Turn pale, not pale, but like the colors of his armor dull a little bit, and the armor is gonna kind of, some of the scales are gonna move from his chest because it's scale armor. He's gonna move some from his chest out to his back and form what looks like a little bit more of wings on the back. And he's deciding to kind of look more like a gargoyle as he's walking through. Is there any effect to that as far as stealth? Or
I'm gonna call that a cool idea. We're gonna give you advantage on this stealth check. And
okay, cool.
as you do that strike, I just remembered because we have not talked about it, but Kairos and V still have heroic inspiration for blast time. I think Evan, you had left the call at this point, but because you guys had done the out of chat roleplay, like you each had gotten heroic inspiration, like 1 point of inspiration.
Oh, that's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Yes, that's apologies. Because I realized it was at the end of the session. I remembered. I think you had left. So yes, sorry. It's like in the middle. I like keep checking my last session notes because there's some stuff that carried over, and I'm like, God damn it, I forgot to bring that up. But yes, so keep that in mind for Kairos and for V. But otherwise, okay, 25 stealth check, 12.
And let me do Mr. I'll do Levi. I know Levi is not going to do well, so I've kind of assumed that he's just going to take a parallel path far away from the group, but still go to the same location. So if something, he's just not with the group in this case.
Okay.
Because he's a clunker. That's a dex check. What is that? Oh, that wasn't an advantage. It was a 5 plus 3, so it's an 8.
8. So we got an 8, a 12, a 25, and I think Rin might not be back. I think she's not back. Let me use these stealth checks for now, and these add up to not bueno. I think that's the scenario we're seeing. As Strike, you're able to keep kind of within the kind of shadows and use this disguise to blend in. But what I will say is you hear sounds of metallic boots and other movement, not where you are, but on the next street where you have Levi kind of stalking through the rubble and remains. And you realize Levi might be getting caught up in an encounter with constructs that you can interrupt, but you also risk slowing down the group and maybe attracting more attention, or just letting Levi like deal with it.
Okay.
Wait, I just realized, wasn't Levi abandoned when we jumped in the portal?
No, he fell in with us, unless there was a reason that he was damaged or somehow.
It was the dragon. That's what happened. Yeah. No, Evan's right, because the Levi had failed a check. Against.
Oh, that's right. He was destroyed.
Yeah.
But couldn't you reconstruct him?
I can, but I haven't used the spell slot to do that. So, I guess Levi is not with us at the moment. So if we wanted to kind of back up and kind of recon that,
yes,
he wouldn't be with us.
So I think it would just be Kairos' stealth check and Strike's stealth check. And so I think what you will see is that Strike with your 25, you will sort of balance out with Kairos, and for the moment you hear constructs pretty close by, and it slows you down, I think, is the effective idea. Like, you don't have a distraction on your end, so you have to go a little slower, like at a couple moments, to avoid these patrols. And that's creating extra time. So instead of being like, 15-20 minutes to get there, it's more like a half hour of like quietly stalking through the city remains. And as you guys are doing this, if any of you want to be keeping an eye out for anything, please let me know, and you can go ahead and make checks.
Yeah, I think Strike is. I mean, he understands that we need to get there quickly, but if he sees something along the way that is specifically about a store with items, I think something that might have residual, have lasted this long, he'd be interested.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. That's
As for me, looking for another intact body.
Okay. So you are looking for a body, looking for some items. Kairos, what you looking for with Archie?
Anything that could hurt us. Hurt
That's a
me.
whole lot of things. Okay. So, yeah, Strike. V, go ahead and roll your checks. Nix here for context. Group is stealth checking across towards the kind of forge. So if you want to make any sort of checks to keep an eye out for stuff along the way, you could do so as well.
God damn, 25s.
Everybody
Sure.
rolling real high.
hey.
Okay.
Let's.
Nice. Okay. Hell yeah, keeps the group on pace. And then if you want to make perception or anything for any specific details, you can do that as well. Up to you.
I do love to look with my eyes.
Okay. I think
Sure.
so far we have Strike is looking for like stores or items. V is looking for bodies, dead bodies. Kairos is looking for things that he's
I'm
scared
looking
of.
for danger.
And you're looking for danger as well. Okay, we got two folks keeping
Hell
eyes
yeah.
out for danger. Let's start with Strike. You notice as you guys are venturing northward, you're talking about items, shops. You don't see a shop that's functioning. You see something a little bit bigger than that. You see what looks to be a market. There is what looks like an enormous set of market stalls. Oh, this is the wrong shape thing. But you see an enormous set of like what looks to be market stalls and like up here.
I think I'm missing where you're pointing to.
Sorry. Am I on the right
Pretty
map?
much above line 2.
Yeah, it's like over. kind of beside
Up
the-
there. Market. I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
How did we make it? How did we make it up there? I thought we were heading towards the.
you're heading, but
Forge.
it's because you're keeping an eye peeled, and so much of this is just ruin that you are able to keep an eye out, and you kind of notice it's like it's very clearly like you have these walls, and you can see various like different size like storefronts and like spaces and tents that are. It's not like too bright, but there seems to be some light still functioning.
I think despite the extra couple minutes, Strike would probably try to urge people to just maybe walk through it quickly as opposed to booking it to the forge. But I know that there's other priorities. So,
Okay.
hey, I'll just say, hey, I think I see something in the distance over there. I know we're on a timetable, but if we could extract more than just this artifact from the city, I'm sure one we might be able to use it if we need to, but two, it'd be immensely valuable, not just for educational purposes, but if we happen to need to sell it. Any takers? I'd love to just walk through that on the way to the forge.
Ixia raises her hand. I gave a valuable to Kairos, so the idea of having something for myself does sound good.
Were there 2 sending stones or 1?
Two.
2? I'll say, well, I mean, we could always split up if you want. I hand Nixie the other sending stone.
All right, as
Thank you.
maybe a quick detour is okay. Anybody else? Is Ame actually with us?
Yeah. Like Ame character-wise, yeah, is with you.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what else do we have? We have Kairos and Ame, and then Strike and
Lissandra.
right?
Yep.
Oh, Lissandra's left.
Mhm.
Well, Lissandra, what about you? What's your preference?
I fear we have too little information to make a clear decision here. I don't know if the Forge will hold the information we seek. I don't know if the market will. I think either
What
path
I
could be useful.
what I do know is that we do have other colleagues heading toward the Forge. So as far as timetable is concerned, I think at the very least they'd be able to intercept or start investigating there in a timely manner. But since this market seems to be fairly on the way, it won't be that much of a detour. And who knows? It definitely, I think it would be useful or valuable either way.
Well, and I suppose there still might be information we can find from the remnants of folks there.
Well, so maybe the strategy here is making sure that if we are to split up, it's is balanced. So Kairos, is it your opinion that you wanted to head towards the forge as fast as possible?
Well, Thessos is trying to get there before us, so yeah.
I
But
don't blame you. I understand. I mean, there's benefits to being there. One beating him, I guess, but being there as a team as well.
no. Perhaps you're right. Yeah. If you like, we can head to the market. And I'll send Archie out to the forge. I'll try to have him stealth out, try to stay out of sight, and just like, you know, if he sees Thessos there, then he'll come back to me in the market.
Okay.
But it's very big of you, Kairos, to delay your perceived competition with Essos for this little expedition. I appreciate that and noted.
Yeah, of course, but let's try to get to the forge faster than he could. I don't want him to beat me yet again.
All right. Well, we won't linger. We'll do a quick scan. Between you and I think we can do a decent scan of the area pretty quickly, and everyone else can keep their eyes peeled. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I suppose the kind of air around Kairos would shimmer as V pipes up to everybody. Remember, information is what's taking priority here rather than trinkets.
With all due respect, V, these are not mere trinkets. These are ancient artifacts that potentially could have much more power than either any of us here can wield. We and so he'll get a little worked up only because he's just so invested in the Netheril Empire. But you understand that this empire here had floating cities, right? They had the ability to suck power out of entities to power their cities. Can you imagine what we could do with a sliver of that information? Excuse me, I don't mean to get upset, but this is it's more than mere trinkets that we might find.
I understand the gravity of that. And in turn, I remind you that while we're running around down here, the rest of the group is fighting a dragon and its army of minions. So, let's hurry, no matter what we do, alright?
Shrek will just pause a second and be like, well, that is a very good point. I will concede that. I may have gotten a bit too excited, but maybe we just be quick.
That's all I ask.
All right. Well, let's make haste then. Kairos, why don't we or Kairos and Lysandra, why don't we start once we get close? Why don't we start casting some detect magics and identifiers and that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yep. No worries. Let's do this.
So I guess to kind of lean into V's content point here, I maybe we could just take the three high Arcana users and just kind of take a broad sweep through that area quickly to see if anything shines, pops out, and if nothing does, then that's it. If something does, then we'll investigate, but we'll be quick about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of you that can, I think, detect magic. So yeah, you can all kind of like take this detour towards the market. And I will also add, V, because you had your perception check, you do also see, I think you're trying to keep an eye out for skeletons of maybe value. And along the roads, there is one where you can see what's unique is there's a little bit of like finery to the armor and ropes beside them. You assume it's the skeletons. It's so old. The bones are mostly crumbled. Armor has lost whatever magic there is. It's all like rusted. But maybe somebody of value, right? As you kind of find those remains if you want to pick up the skull.
Yeah, V will pester Kairos to gingerly grab the skull as we're moving.
Yeah. No. Karis will pick it up.
Yeah.
Right. I suppose I can ask a couple questions while we're moving. Any pressing questions you want to ask this one?
Yes. If there's. Can you ask it if there's any value going to the forge? Anything important there?
Kairos, as you're speaking, in this moment, Nixia, you hear something. Off in the distance, I think with your passive perception, you maybe say to the west, you hear an explosion of sorts, some sort of eruption and like sound of destruction.
Mm. It's like what? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna add. It's like you pick it up because of your passive perception, so it's not like it's loud that the others hear, but to you, you're like that's a detonation or eruption of some sort.
Yeah. Guys, I hate to interrupt, but I think that the marketplace should perhaps wait. In fact, I believe that we should run in this direction, over here. You are heroes, right?
Yes, I think we are.
Lovely. There was an explosion. We should
What?
investigate that.
Kairos, can you go ahead and give me a? It'll be a V. Can you go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw? Kairos, can you go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw?
I got you.
Let's see.
Lysandra
Yeah,
will
Kairos
use-
has a D4 to his.
Oh, all right. All right, 13.
Okay. As Nixia is saying this towards you, all of you feel the air grow. And Nixia, mid-sentence, something changes. As somebody who studies the divine, has some of these abilities, there is a sense that creeps up that inspires a deep dread. V. Similarly, you feel something. It's a sense of death that is nauseating, overwhelming, and growing. In mid-sentence, as you pause, you look out, and there's someone in front of all of you. And a pair of familiar eyes looks to you, V. You all see beautiful kind of green eyes that rest on a desiccated corpse. But a corpse that manages to still stand and look out at all of you. Despite the dryness of the skin, the ribs clearly exposed, everything sunken into an extreme degree, you see somebody with fine robes and beautiful green eyes looking at all of you. Welcome to my city. I apologize for being delayed in my duties as host. I appreciate you coming to visit me, but I do have to warn you. That which you seek not be yours. But I will gladly accept the offerings you have brought. The hand kind of reaches out, its thin, bony fingers. Kairos towards your chest. What beautiful, delicious souls I see. Thank you. And you blink and the figure is gone. For a moment you all are kind of there. You felt the moment stretch. But there's something that weighs in your chest, in your stomachs. And Kairos. Actually, for the rest of you, as you look at Kairos, there's something important that you note. That V is not inside of Kairos anymore. That V is separate. And Kairos begins to look up at you. All of you go ahead and give me insight checks.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Including me or no?
Oh yeah, including V. You're the most familiar. Okay. Okay.
We got twins.
Strike, you have no idea what's going on, but you're like, okay, whatever that vision was, it's over. You look up Nixie. You look up V. And the eyes look familiar. Hold something very different behind them. And you see a figure almost flash behind Kairos' eyes. And you know that's not him. Not right now. And a hand reaches up, and in that split second, as he seems to be reaching to cast something, you see Lysandra reach her arm out, grab him, and there is a flutter of shadows and feathers, and they're gone. You hear another explosion somewhere in the city. And you feel that sickness in your stomachs grow heavy. And V, give me a perception check from your perspective. And this is specific to you.
All right. Let's see here.
Okay. You saw something almost step into Kairos after you had been pushed out. And as you look up, you catch a sight that only you can see. Vague flutterings of spirits in your realm descending down across the city. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end this session.
What the fuck?
No.
Damn it, we're gonna have to find ourselves a new wizard. We just lost 2 wizards.
Yeah, don't worry. There's Thestos and Asric somewhere.
That motherfucker stole my ride.